And so ultimately the thing is that you have to prepare for 75 questions, and these 75 questions, out of these 75 questions, you have to answer 42 questions correctly to qualify. This is not a graded exam. There is no grading A, B, C or pass. There's only pure play pass fail exam. Either you pass or you fail. Okay. So to pass, you have to get 42 questions correctly out of the 75 questions in 60 minutes. And if you are smart enough to mark yourself as a non-native English speaker while you sign up, then in 90 minutes. Okay, 15 minutes extra. Now, where do these questions come from? Okay, now the entire APMP body of knowledge, which is basically the Bible of APMP or Bible for bid and proposal management, it has got 7 different knowledge areas. Okay, so and each knowledge area is specifically linked to a competency which APMP has designated as needed for a bid and proposal manager. So there are multiple different types of different competencies, and each of these knowledge area is specifically linked to a like sales orientation. Now there's a topic, there's a knowledge area called understanding the business development. So sales orientation is an important competency for a bid manager. And this particular knowledge area, understanding the business development life cycle, that links to that particular competency. Okay. So there are such different competencies, and there are 5 knowledge areas. Overall, APMP body of knowledge has got 7 knowledge areas. But out of that, only 5 knowledge areas are under the preview of the APMP Foundation test. Okay. Now, each of this knowledge area has got again a set of topics. Like the knowledge areas which are under APMP Foundation are: first is understand the business development life cycle. Second is focus on the customer. Third is create deliverables. Fourth is manage processes. And fifth is using systems and tools. Okay, so these are the 5 knowledge areas. Now, under each knowledge area, there is a set of topics. Some may have 12 topics, some may have 15 topics, some may have 20 topics. Okay. Now, each topic area is actually related to a practice. Each topic is related to a practice within bid and proposal management, like proposal organization. It's a practice within the bid and proposal management function. Executive summaries, writing executive summaries. It's a practice. So these all practices, they are arranged under as topics. They are identified as topics within a knowledge area. So each knowledge area has got a set of topics. Overall, you can say that if you combine these 5 knowledge areas which are under the APMP body of knowledge, under the APMP Foundation level test, they have got around 50 topics. And each topic has got around 6 to 10 best practices. Okay. Some has got 5, some have got 4, some have got 10, some have got 12 even. So at an average, if you see, there are around 6 best practices for every topic. So overall, 300 best practices under the coverage for the APMP Foundation test. Okay. Now, the test questions are actually related to these 300 best practices. Okay. But these test questions are not what are the best practices. That is the beauty of it, and we will see, and we'll as we go ahead, we will see how the best practices are related to the questions. Okay, I will explain that. But remember, 5 knowledge areas, 50 topics, 300 best practices, and the question 75 questions are related to the best practices, but not about the best practices. Okay, that's what you need to always remember. Now, what is the return of APMP certification? You all are here. You are all investing your 1 hour on a Saturday evening. So I don't need to explain you much, but the 4 key takeaways or returns from the APMP certification is that first thing is that it gives you a professional qualification, because APMP certification is now globally recognized. So across the industries, not only in one industry, but across the industries, from defense industry to manufacturing to facility management to IT. So across every industry, the APMP certification is recognized. So it gives you a professional qualification as a bid and proposal management professional. Industry recognition, as I said, since it is recognized across the industries, you get a industry recognition global, and that too at a global level. Most important point is the strong differentiator. Now, why the strong differentiator? The strong differentiator comes from, if you do a quick LinkedIn survey, just go to LinkedIn survey ads or something. If you go to the LinkedIn marketing or LinkedIn ad and just do bid managers and the role bid manager and the location, you choose India as a location, you will find there are around 7.5 lakh bid managers. Now they are from different industries. Now, if you include the sales enablement, if you include the proposal managers, if you include the sales support, if you include the pre-sales, it may go to 15 lakhs. Now, in these 15 lakh professionals who are in the industry, how do you differentiate yourself? How do you stand apart? APMP certification helps you to get that recognition, get that differentiation. That he is, for a hiring manager. Like if I'm a hiring manager and I am supposed to hire, say, one bid manager, and I get 10 resumes in front of me, and out of that 10 resume, I find 3 or 2 or 5 as APMP certified and 5 are non-APMP certified. I would definitely like to talk to the first 5 first, because there is a mark. There is some there's a differentiator in these 5 or in this 3 or in this 2 from the rest of the world, because they have been independently sort of verified or assessed by an independent industry body. So that is one big thing, which is basically a very strong differentiator. And finally, it's a growth enabler. Growth enabler in the sense, if you ask me, in my last 2 years, people may say that last 2 years has been bad or something like that. But trust me, in last 2 years, I have trained over 700 professionals, and everyone who has qualified the APMP certification exam has definitely seen a positive growth. Okay, I have not heard back from anyone coming back to me and saying that, no, I didn't get a positive, I didn't get a good appraisal, I didn't get a good growth. Everybody has seen that. Okay, but does that mean that it is the APMP certification which has given them that growth? Absolutely not. It is also their capabilities and the mindset which they build after going through this program. Because what this program does is, it changes your mindset, it changes your approach towards the entire bid. You start looking at it not from a proposal to be submitted, but rather you start looking at it as an opportunity to win. And that mindset itself actually drives the growth. The certification is only a pathway. It takes you to that path, but you actually walk that path with that mindset, with that growth mindset, and that is actually your growth enabler. Okay. So these are the quick facts about the certification. Anybody has any questions about these facts? I'll happy to take that, or I can also take them at the end of it. And I want to just make it interactive. Everybody can ask any question. Any questions? Feel free to ask any question you have related to this. Since you are already here, which means that you have made your mind, or you are exploring what APMP certification can, how APMP certification can help you. So this is your opportunity to ask every question. And I, being the chair of APMP India, and also being one of the 11 globally certified professionals, because there are only 11 people in across the world as of today, as of date today, who have got all the 4 levels of certification. And from India, I am the only one. Rest all are in UK and US. I think one in Australia. So overall, there are 11 people in this world, and lucky to be amongst one of them. Till the time somebody else also gets that qualification. I think there are a couple of people who are getting ready for that. But for me, yeah, it would always remember that I was the first to do that. Anyway, so taking back, let us jump into the questions of APMP, which is the primary purpose of today's session. Let me explain you first what the questions look like. Okay. If you see the question structure, basically, the question structure, oh, sorry. Every APMP, so these APMP questions, as I said, there are 75 questions. All these questions are multiple choice questions. Okay, all multiple choice questions, and there is only one correct answer for each question. Okay. Now, if you see the structure of the questions, the structure of the questions is actually very similar. If you see any of the questions, all the questions, there is the structure is going to be very similar. Okay, but then there are, as I said, there are 10 different categories or 10 different types of questions, which we analyzed after training all these people for now, how many years? For 2014, yeah, around 8 years now. You see the structure. In the structure of in the question, there is one phrase, or there will be some keywords or some phrase which we call as the stem. They are the origin of the question. The entire question actually revolves around that phrase or that term. Okay, so you have to first identify what is the stem of the question. Like in this particular question, which of these tools would best test the quality of opportunity plan actions? The key phrase over here, or the stem over here, is test the quality. So all these answers which you see below, they have to relate to that particular phrase, test the quality. Now coming to the answers. The answers, again, you will have 4 different types of answers. One will be a very close alternative. Actually, there will be 2 will be basically what we call as the distractors. Like they are there just to distract your mind towards something. They are not the correct answers. They are just there to distract you. They may not be anywhere related. So if you look at the distractors, the Project Management Institute, the answer B, Project Management Institute, and Project Evaluation Review Techniques. Now, Project Management Institute plan and Project PERT, these are basically project planning tools. Okay, they are not related to opportunity plans, but they are project planning tools. So they are distractors. So what we are left with is, one is the correct answer, another is the closest alternative. Okay, and that is the most difficult part. Like you have to now judge which is, and at times these two, the closest alternative and the correct answer will be so close to each other. Or the second thing is that in practice, it may be something else, a very close alternative, but as per the APMP best practice, it is different from what is there in practice. Okay, like for example, if I give you an example, like if I ask you what is the right time to, or when do we actually prepare the executive summary? Most of the companies, they will be preparing their executive summary at the end of the proposal or as the proposal nears the end, so that they have a clear view of the proposal. And some of the companies will, that will be the last document to prepare. Okay. Now that is something which is in practice. But as per the APMP best practice, the draft executive summary should be actually prepared even before the RFP is launched. That is during the opportunity plan phase. Okay, and that should be used as a document in your kickoff meeting to make the entire team, the larger team, understand what is the value proposition being proposed to the customer in the proposal, or what is the win strategy, or what is the background. So executive summary actually serves as a sort of an input to the kickoff meeting, okay, and the proposal development, and at least the draft executive summary, and then it is finalized as it refined, it is updated, refined, and finalized as it approaches the end. So what is the right time to start the executive summary? In practice, it is maybe towards the end of the proposal, but as per the APMP best practice, it is before the start of the proposal development. Okay, so these are two answers, which one is the close alternative, another is the correct answer. Now the correct answer is always as per the APMP best practice. That is, it should be prepared before the kickoff meeting or during the opportunity plan phase. Okay, so this is the how the question is structured, and every question is structured like that. Every question will have a stem statement, that's a phrase around which all the answers are related, to which the answers would be related. Two of the answers will be distractors, they are nowhere related to the stem, and two answers one will be a correct answer, another is the closest alternative answer, and you have to select the correct answer in less than 1 minute. So that is the, and this rule applies across all the 75 questions. Okay, but does that mean that all the 75 questions will be of the same of this same type? No, every question will be, as I said in the very beginning, the APMP Foundation test 75 questions are around the best practices, but they are not the best practices, about the best practices. They are about how the best practices are implemented. Okay, and what happens when you implement a best practice, what happens when you do not implement a best practice. Okay, so if you have to look at the type of the MCQs, you can actually categorize them in 10 different categories. Okay, and to identify that category, you have to read the question very carefully. The best thing to do is to read the question and understand the type, because when you understand the type of that question, it becomes much easier to answer that question. You know, there's a technique to answer. Most of the people who have gone through, who have done their MBA and maybe have done case studies or have worked on case scenarios, they will know that there are techniques. There are some certain techniques which you apply and they get you the results fast. Okay, so this is again one of the techniques which you have to, which you need to know, where you can identify which type of question this is and how do I answer to this type of question. So there are, so if you can see this 10 types of questions, the lookalike set options, flip the text, and I will explain each type. Yeah, I will take each type with an example. Okay, so that you know which type of question this is and to answer this type of question. But also what we will be doing is, when we take this question, try to answer that question at your end. You don't have to tell me right here. You have to just note down what is your answer to that question. Okay, in that 1 minute, which we will discuss that. Okay, and at the end we will see what is your score. You yourself will see what is your score. Okay, and that will actually give you a background of how prepared actually you are to take the test, or what do you need to do to prepare yourself to take the test. Okay, so let us start with the type of questions. The first question is, the type of questions is basically the lookalike set of options. Now, lookalike set of options are those questions in which the answers, all the answers will look alike, say like of the same type, and most typically they will start with the same phrase. Like in this particular question, which of the following best describes the purpose of final document review team? Okay, it is designed to bring together those reviewers. It is designed to ensure careful editing and wordsmithing of text. It is designed. So everything starts with it is designed. Now what you have to do here, First thing is to identify what is the stem. Best describes the purpose. That is the purpose of the final document review team. So the stem is the describes the purpose. Now, which of these answers describe the purpose? Okay. Now, if you have noted down your correct answer, it is basically C. That is, it is designed to simulate the evaluation board or the committee. Okay. The second type of question is flipping the text of the definition with the term. Now, in this question, there is a term, and to answer that term, basically what you need to do is you need to flip the text. That means, like here, the question is, what is the differentiator? And you have these 4 answers. What you need to do is that you have to use this word differentiator in all of these answers and see which of the one best fits. Differentiator of your solution is different from that of your organization. Differentiator is a feature of your solution that is different from that of your customers. Differentiator is a key program requirement that you are able to meet. Differentiator is an issue that is important to the customer. Differentiator is a feature of your solution that is different from that of your competitors and is important to this. Now, when you read these 4 questions with the word differentiator, that is, you flip it with the text, that is this key stem differentiator, you will get the right answer. And in this case, the right answer is D. Okay. The negative option. Now, this is again a little tricky one, and you will get a lot of these questions. Okay. This is basically, you will see a phrase like least likely, not usually, phrases like this. These are questions which are of the negative option. Now here, and most of the times what happens is that we miss this one, and which of the following is to be reviewed during a final document review, or else actual question is which of the following is least likely to be reviewed. So the 4 of the answers, which one does not fit? All the other 3 may fit to it, but which one does not fit to it? Okay, consistency between document volumes and sections, strategy with the document section, management executive summary, proposal resource schedule. If you see, D is the right answer, because that is not something which is likely reviewed during a final document review. Okay, proposal schedule is not something which is defined. So the correct answer here is D. Okay, but this category, this type of question, they are known as the negative option questions. Okay, now this is little different from the negative options. Negative option has got a negative phrase, a negative connotation, whereas multiple option has all the answers, or mostly 2 or 3 answers would look very similar, and it is very difficult to find out which is the right answer. Okay, now here you have to use the judgment, and you have to use your judgment, and of course the best practice as per APMP. So for electronic submission, which standard is best for preserving the integrity of the proposal, yet giving the customer some flexibility of use? Okay. Now HTML is also, it also fits the bill. It's also right answer. Like you can have, and lot of companies today submit their proposals in sort of like what we call as the micro websites or micro web designs, and they use HTML. Microsoft Word, certain customers want the documents to be in Microsoft Word, so that can be there. Adobe PDF, open text format, again is another open standard format for document type, for document creation. But as per APMP, Adobe PDF is the most common and most flexible, because you can open a PDF without any innate software. Just with a PDF browser, you can you can open any PDF document. Okay, you don't need to have Microsoft Word. You don't need to have a browser to open a HTML page, or even a software to open the open text format. Okay, so Adobe PDF C is the correct answer. But here all the 4 answers actually meet the and are correct answers, but Adobe PDF is the best fit answer. Okay, so this is what we call as the multiple option category of questions. Okay, the next is 2-column options. Now here your every answer will have two columns, like two answers. Okay, and both of them actually should be correct to, or both of them should satisfy the STEM question. Okay, like which of the following documents are critical for the proposal strategy document? Draft executive summary, opportunity plan, content plan, storyboard, opportunity plan, proposal plan, storyboard, mock-up. Now there can be again combination: content plan, proposal plan, storyboard, opportunity plan, storyboard, draft executive summary. It can be multiple combinations, but both the options or should actually satisfy the STEM or the question. Okay. Now in this case, it is again C, opportunity plan and proposal plan. They are critical for the proposal strategy development. Okay. Now, data-driven options. Now APMP provides certain data points, which APMP says as per the APMP's industry research. As per APMP industry research, those are the data points, like what should be the ideal time to create a complex graphics. Okay, or how much time, what should be the resolution or minimum resolution of a printer, of a color printer to be used for printing a proposal. Now it is 320 dpi. It is 6 hours or 8 hours which will take for a complex graphics. Likewise, for certain activities, APMP has provided a set of data points, and these questions are related to those data points, like how many pages of boilerplate text requiring minimal revision can be amended in a day. Now, as per the APMP standards, it is around 20 to 25 pages, which can be basically amended in a day. Okay, if it's a boilerplate text. The next question is, okay, this is a typical challenging type questions, and you get at least 15 to 20 such questions. Okay, at an average you will get 15 to 20 such questions, which are basically situational questions or questions related, which give you a situation and then ask you to answer a question. Okay, now in this case it is saying that, you can see it's a very descriptive type of question, like for a company with 10 years of history in bidding, that is now producing a written complex proposal with a customized solution based on 50-50 mix of service and product. Ideally, what percentage of proposal pages should be based on boilerplate? Now, if you read the question, there are distractors in the question itself. A company with 10 years history of bidding, that has got nothing to do with how many pages or what percentage of proposal pages should be based in the boilerplate. What has got to do is 50% mix, 50-50 mix of service and product. So here you have to understand the situation that the proposal is going to be 50% service and 50% product. Now, definitely the product is not going to change. The product content is going to remain the same. The product specifications, the product benefits, the product features, they are going to remain the same. That is going to be the boilerplate. But the service can be different. The service can be different. Why? Because the proposal may be about a upgrade of the product, or it can be an implementation of the product, or it can be a customization of the product. So the service can change, but the product remains the same. So obviously 50% or less than 50% of the boilerplate can be used. Okay, so it should be ideally 20 to 15%. Okay, 20 to 15%. It cannot be between 60 to 80%, because you cannot go beyond that. As per the APMP perspective, it cannot be more than 90%, because you have to contextualize the service, and it cannot be less than 10%, because obviously you are using a product, and boilerplate text has to be there has to be content related to the product, which is boilerplate content, because the product specifications will not change from customer to customer. So here the correct answer is between 20 to 50%. Sorry. Next. Now this is again a sequence of events. Now this type of questions, these are basically a sequence of events which happen one after the other. Now which event happens when? Based on that, you have to select like which of the following events usually takes place during a bid. Takes place first during a bid process. Develop graphics, determine win strategy, create content plan, create content compliance checklist. Now here, typically again there is a challenge, because in reality, when you are actually working on a RFP and you have not been involved in the opportunity planning phase, or nobody has done the opportunity planning phase, there you start by what? There you start with creating a compliance checklist, a sort of a requirement matrix and a compliance checklist, and then identifying what needs to be done. But when you are actually involved in the RFP, before even the RFP is released, there you are, as per the APMP best practice, the first thing you need to have in place is your win strategy. Because if you are not having your win strategy and you start pursuing an opportunity, your chances are not going to be high to win that. Okay, so determining the win strategy is the first thing, is the first activity that will take first during a bid process. Okay, so these are like, and they can be questions like what happens after, what happens before, what happens during. They are basically questions which are related to the sequence of events category. Okay, this is the last one, which is basically rephrased as a scenario. That is, you are being put into a scenario. You are being asked that you have been added to a bid team to replace the existing bid manager. When should you define the content plan for later development? Now, see, this is a distractor over here. Whether you have been added to the bid team or the existing bid manager, or there is an existing bid manager, whoever is doing, when should they define the content plan for later development? It has got nothing to do with that you have been added or you have been removed or you have taken over. It has got nothing to do with it. Ultimately the STEM question now comes from, when should a bid manager define the content plan for later development? And the answers are before the first proposal strategy review meeting, before the proposal kickoff meeting, at the proposal kickoff meeting, following the kickoff meeting. Your content plan actually should be created before the first proposal strategy review meeting, because your proposal strategy review meeting also reviews your content plan, and based on that you start writing the content as per the APMP's best practice. Okay, so this is rephrased as a scenario. And finally is the degree of applicability. Like, this is basically straightforward question. Which of the following describes a benefit to the customer? A black hat strategy, a value proposition, so what, litmus test, facial benefit table. Now, if you say black hat strategy, straight away no, because it is used for competitive strategy. Feature benefit table, so what, litmus test, and value proposition. Now, these three are very close to each other, but it says describes a benefit. That is a basically, which of the following best describes a benefit? The best describe of a benefit is a basically the value proposition. So what test checks the validity of a benefit, whether it is a real benefit or not. So what test is not to define or describe a benefit. The description of the value proposition of the benefit comes in the value proposition. So these are the 10 different types of questions or 10 different categories of questions which you will actually get in the APMP online test. And the 75 questions which you have to answer, these 75 questions will be one of all these 75 questions will actually relate to any one of these category of questions. And if you know what category of question it is, and you know how to approach that particular category, your not only your chances of passing the exam or having the answer correct is going to be more, rather you will be able to do it much faster. Okay, so this is why it is important to know when you get that question, you should be able to, first thing you should be able to identify is what category of question this is, and then second is what is the STEM question. That is, what is the real question in that, and then look at the answers. Don't just jump directly into the answers and then start picking up, because that's the type, and most of the people actually miss out in the negative questions. Okay, because they miss out that most likely, least likely, not. They are small words, but they miss out that, and they look all the answers and they answer the wrong answer. Okay, that's where exactly the thing is. Now, how do you prepare for the exam? There are multiple options for preparing. If you are a well-disciplined guy, a person who is committed that every day I am going to do this, and you have a background, you have a sufficient background, like maybe 2, 3, 4 years, 5 years, and you have gone through a bid end to end, right from the origination to the final bid, you have gone through end to end. You can do a self-study. I am not saying that you need to go in for a training program or something. You can do a self-study. A lot of people do that self-study. But there are two things. One thing is that you should have an experience of an end-to-end visibility of a bid. And second is you have to be self-disciplined. Okay. You can do the self-study from the APMP body of knowledge, which is available online once you become a APMP member. So you can become an APMP member, and you can see the APMP body of knowledge. And in the APMP body of knowledge, you can see the knowledge areas, and the knowledge areas, you will see the topics. And when you open up each topic, you will see the best practices in the topic related to the topic. Very well organized. If you have to buy the physical book, it costs you around $75 if you're a member, and I think $150 if you're a non-member. You have to get a print version of the book. Okay. And then you can do the self-study, but you do not get any access to any of the questions or anything. It's only about the best practices, topics, knowledge areas, topics, and the best practices. So you have to formulate your questions. That okay, what can be the possible types of questions here? Okay. Second is the in-person training, whether you attend a workshop or whether now of course we have these online workshops, or you can. Before the pandemic, we used to have the physical workshops. Either you attend the in-person workshop, or you opt for the online self-learning options, which we have, which are there. And the training programs are provided by the APMP authorized training organizations, what are known as the ATOs. In India, we have ATOs like Shipley, In Glory, the company which I own, is also an APMP ATO. And then there are global ATOs. You can go to the APMP website, and you can see the list of the APMP ATOs who are there, and the type of training programs they provide. Most of them now provide either live in-person training or live or online self-learning training programs. Okay. So basically, what do we provide? So we have this APMP Foundation Level Bootcamp. We do it again in person as well as online self-learning program. What does it cover? The entire 5 knowledge areas, 5 topics. 5 knowledge areas, 50 topics, and the 300 best practices in 10 different modules. These are all pre-recorded modules. What we add to it is basically the first 4 topics. We have topical quizzes. Topical quizzes means questions pertaining to specifically that topic. And the purpose of those questions is to familiarize you with the pattern of the questions. It is not to test your competency. It is not to test your understanding or your knowledge. It is just to make you familiar with the pattern of the questions when you are preparing for the questions. Okay, that's the four topical questions, topical quiz, and there are each topic has got around 10 questions. One quiz with 10 questions, and then there are 5 more. This is where the real game begins. Each of these mock tests is exactly of the same format of the APMP online test. Okay, 75 questions, and you have to answer those 75 questions. Only thing is that in the 75 questions in APMP test, you never know which one you answered correct or you answered wrong. Here you get to know which one you answered correct and which one you answered wrong. Okay, so overall, if you see, there are around 300 questions where you get to know which one you are answering correct and where wrong. Where you have answered wrong, that you get to know. And then we do a mock test review. So all these tests are basically done on the Google Classroom, which keeps a track of which are the most frequently answered wrong by the participants, or you have answered wrong across the test. So you know that, okay, these are the topics which you need to revise. You can have, we have a one-on-one sessions where any specific doubt related to any of the topic or any of the questions, we clear that. And finally, you take the foundation level test. We help you to get registered and take the foundation level test, and finally that's where you earn the degree of the professional recognition of writing CF.APMP across your name. So that is basically what is the course coverage. What you get here is basically 20, as I said, 20 hours of recorded lecture sessions, session handouts, basically as like instead of the APMP body of knowledge, which costs you $75 if you're an APMP member, or $150 if you're a non-member. What we provide is basically reading materials for each of the topic. Okay, and they are extracts of the APMP body knowledge or body of knowledge itself. So you don't miss anything from the body of knowledge in that sense. And then there, as I said, 4 topic-based quiz, 75 mock tests, 5 mock tests with each 75 multiple choice questions. Each question you get the right answer, correct. First you attempt, and then you see the how many answers you have answered wrong and what is the correct answer for that. And of course, so you get all these 300 questions with correct answers. And then obviously, like this particular session, over the period of time, we will have 4 webinars where we can clear your whatever doubts you have, any questions you have. And for any other reason, for any other thing, you have the virtual classroom is basically the Google Classroom, where you can always post you can have your discussions, you can post your questions, and any question posted there will be answered. Or else the other thing is that pick up the phone, call me up, let us discuss, let us talk, or just WhatsApp me and we can talk. So that's what we provide as a part of the online self-learning program. How it helps, basically, yeah, it helps you save time. You don't have to go through, dig through, find the entire topics, areas of APMP body of knowledge, which topic to study, which not to study. And of course, out of the 300 topics, there are around, 300 best practices, or the 50 topics, there are around, your focus should be around 10, 15 topics, which we tell you, which are the 15 topics from where 70% of the questions will come. Okay, definitely it helps time to prepare. Obviously, we have a proven track record. Till date, we have 100% success record. Even people who were not able to qualify in their first attempt after attending our program, they have qualified. And those who attended the program for the first time, they have also qualified. 100% track record. That's what we have, and that's what we are proud of. And obviously, the best benefit is that you learn at your own pace. The video lectures are different. The reading materials are separated, different. The quizzes are different. So while you are at the gym, maybe you can listen to the lectures, or while you're having your morning walk, you can listen to the lectures. While you come back and have your tea, you can go through the handouts. And evening before you have to take a break, appear for the quiz or appear for the topic question. So you can learn at your own pace. So that's the advantage what you have. What we are offering here typically is basically, if you see the our training program costs are the live training program, which is basically online training program, and all the training programs are conducted by me. Okay, I personally take every session is taken by me. Okay, so live training program, that's basically 15,500 is the regular fee. The self-learning program, the regular fee is 10,500. You get access to all the 75 questions. So that's basically the 5 mock tests, reading material, as well as the videos. And what we are having is basically last 2 weeks, we have been running this program, which is basically a program which we are running is a discounted self-learning fee, and that is ending today. After that, it will roll back to the same self-learning fee of 10,500. But if you are enrolling today, it is 5,250. And the process for enrollment and the payment is very simple. I can share. We will share a link with you in the chat, and it's a Google form, and you can simply go and select, just go enroll yourself in that form, and as you enroll, you will be basically getting a. So basically, what you will have is that. Just give me a second, please. So I can see many of you have already enrolled, but for those who have not enrolled and they wish to enroll, you can just simply find the link here. Just so this is the link here, and one of our past participant, he has actually summarized the entire his journey of how to prepare, and that I think those even who are self-preparing, who are going through a self-study mode, they can basically look at it. Very interesting. Neeraj has been a very active participant in our community, as well as in the. By the way, we have a community of bid and proposal managers where we have a lot of discussions going on every time, every day, every interaction. It's a WhatsApp community. You can join that community, and that's all. And of course, a lot of people have shared what their experience has been with the training program, and you can connect with any one of them who have gone through their programs. They are all on LinkedIn, and you can get a feedback on that. So that's all about it. And so let's, if anybody has any questions, I'm happy to take that right now. Anybody has any questions here? Okay.
Hi, Abhijit. Good evening.
Please give me my mime. This Bluetooth speaker has run out of battery. I have to put my earphone. Just
sure.
Yeah, please go on.
Yeah, hi, Abhijit. Good morning, Umesh this side.
Yeah, Umesh.
So, Abhijit, this session is really helpful to understand the basics and how we can prepare through the self-study or even through self-learning or So, and even though you have, I mean, the fee structure is also written here. So this is all about the training. What about the charges for membership and also for appearing in the exam?
Okay.
Do we? Yeah.
Yeah. So the charges for the APMP examination is basically the first is there are two investments over there. One is the investment of becoming a APMP member. That is basically globally the price of becoming a APMP member is $100. Or actually, it has been now increased to I think $106. But for APMP India, it is currently discounted to $53. I think $53. Yes. So it is a 50% discount, but becoming a APMP India member does not mean that you will not get a access to the other. By becoming a APMP India member, actually by default you are becoming the entire APMP member. So you can get all the benefits of APMP Global by becoming a APMP India member. It is just to promote APMP in India. A discount is being provided. So when you select India chapter, when you are registering for the APMP membership, when you are registering, so select your India chapter. That time you will see $100, $106, $106. But before the checkout, it will change to $52 or $53. Okay, that is the membership fee. Now the APMP certification fee. Now APMP has got multiple certification levels, and the global certification fee for any APMP member for any test starts from $400. Okay, for APMP Foundation, it is also $400. But again, for promoting APMP in India, it has been discounted to $200. Okay, so you need to pay $200 for AP. So basically, overall $255, including the exchange rates and other things. If you total, so it is a total investment of $255. But out of with that $255, you are getting 1 year of APMP's membership. That means access to every asset within APMP. Okay, whether it's a webinar, whether it's a white paper, whether it's a report, and there are tons of such. Plus discounts on APMP, different events of APMP, like this time it APMP India, there is a BPC Asia which is being held for the first time. That's the Global Conference of Bid and Proposal Management Convention. It is going to happen in India, Asia, in Asia for the first time, and it is going to happen in India in Mumbai in September. So you as a APMP member get a discounted fee to attend that member. Like any of the APMP webinar, if you want to attend that APM and hosted by any of the chapters, if you have to attend that webinar, you need to pay $75 if you are not a APMP member. But for an APMP member, it is free. And not only it is free, you can watch the past webinars for last 3 years. You can, even if you are not attending any of the conferences, that is the BPC, like recently the BPC Europe was there in Amsterdam, and again in May there will be the BPC Denver that is happening in US. All the presentations which are being made in these events, and the participation to these events costs around $700 for members. I think early bird members, the late birds is I think around $1,000 right now. But you get access to all the presentations. Okay, so those are the benefits which you get by joining APMP.
Okay. Thank you, Abhijit. Thank you so much.
That's my pleasure.
Yeah.
Anybody else has any question? Please feel free to ask anything related to APMP test, APMP preparation, APMP certification. Any questions?
Yeah, hi Abhijit. Thanks for sharing me the link. This is Jerome.
Hi, Jerome.
I'm from Chennai, and I've been receiving your mails quite some days. And thanks for this wonderful session. Recently, I had a chance to attend one of the panel discussions. The topic was whether the foundation certificate, whether it is really worth it. So I attended it. So most of the panelists over there mentioned that the course would take at least 6 months to give the exam.
Yeah, if you are doing a self-learning.
Okay.
That's why I said that you have to be disciplined. You have to be disciplined. That you have to the moderator of that session, Ashish Bhatia, he himself is there, and he's actually enrolled for this course. Ashish, you can unmute yourself and you can share your thoughts.
Yeah, Abhijit. Yeah, so Jerome, I recall you being there on that particular webinar. I think what we ultimately conclude. Hi. No problems. I think what we concluded, Abhijit, was around 2 to 3 months of good preparation that we could take. I think that was the consensus. As you rightly mentioned, 6 months would probably be with the self-learning, self-paced. It's about discipline, right, Abhijit?
Yeah, it is all about discipline. I can tell you, like, people have appeared for the exam on the last day of the training program when we had the physical, when we have the workshops. So 2 days, the workshop, the full day workshop is 2 days full day workshop. So 2 days full day workshop, people have appeared for the exam and all of them have passed. So I don't think it totally depends on how much time and effort you are investing. But from my experience, I can say if you are investing 3 hours every day for 3 weeks, you are ready for the exam.
Right, sir. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Anyone else has got any questions?
Hi, Abhijit.
Hi.
This is Mohak. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you, Mohak?
Thank you so much for your time, especially on a Saturday evening.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Always a pleasure.
So yeah, I had a quick question regarding the self-learning course. So is there any validity on this course? Like for example, if I register right now, would I be able to access it 3 months later?
If you register today, till the time you don't appear for your exam, you can access.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thanks.
All right.
Okay. So we don't want to say that no, this is a like it is just that we wanted to have this. But anyway, more important is that okay, you do the self-learning, but is your concept related to whatever thoughts or whatever questions you had about APMP exam? Is that clear? Because if you do even a self-learning, you know how to approach that. How to read, because if I just pull out the APMP body of knowledge, let me see if I have it online. Oh yeah, I have it. Can you see my screen? Can everybody see my
Yes.
screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this is the online APMP body of knowledge. Okay. Now these are the knowledge areas: understand business development, focus on the customer, create deliverable, manage processes, use tools and systems. These are the 5 knowledge areas. Now in each of this knowledge area, these are the topics. Okay, you can see the topics. Now not all the topics are related, like developing a business case, even though it is in the focus on the customer, it is not related to the APMP foundation goal. First thing is that you need to know which topic is actually related, and there is no document within the APMP which says that this is a topic which is related, this is not a topic. So if you start reading from start to end, it will definitely take you 6 months. Okay. But if you know what to read to qualify the APMP examination, definitely it is not going to take you 6 months. Okay. So if you see now, just if you open up this topic, customer analysis and competitive intelligence, now you see there are 5 best practices related to it. Now scrolling through it, reading all the 5, finding out what is the best practice, what are the keywords, what is that. If you have that tenacity, if you are that diligent, if you have that discipline, you can do it. You're fit. But in our age of distraction, when in the span of attention of getting a span of attention of even 30 seconds is difficult, I literally find it difficult that how people can go even by doing a self-learning. And obviously, if they have to do a self-learning, they will take 6 months to do that. So that is how it is all about. So this is how the APMP best practices body of knowledge, online body of knowledge, which you get once you enroll, become an APMP member, you get access to this. Okay. Any other question? Anyone? How did you like the question? Okay. How many of you answered more than 50% correct? Or did you find any trick, or how did you? What is your understanding of the? What is your experience of the from the questions which you saw, the 10 questions which you saw? How many of that questions could you relate to?
There were a lot of questions which we could totally relate to, but exactly, I mean, like you said earlier, that whatever which we follow in the industry, it might not be the best practice.
Yes, exactly.
That's the point. So, like executive summary, for example, very good example of that. So, but yeah, more than 50% of the questions were, I mean, we could relate to, and I corrected.
Yeah, so it is all about what we are doing, but is it the right way we are doing? That is the question.
Right, right.
Okay, so that's the point which we are to see. So I think with that, if you don't have any questions, I don't want to hold you guys for the weekend. We can close it, and if you have any questions, my number is all there. I can put it right now in the chat. Just message me, WhatsApp me if you have any questions, and I will be happy to answer. Okay. So thank you, everyone. Have a nice evening. And those who have joined the course already, Ashish, Ninu, Abhishek. So all you have the links to the course, and yeah, and if you have any problems, any challenges in accessing, please let me know. Those who have joined today, you will get the links by tonight. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining, and have a nice evening and a nice weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you, Abhijit.
Thank you, Abhijit. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Abhijit.
Nice evening. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you so much. Bye bye.